Hello everyone! So this is the first video of the year, but first of all, let's do the basics. Bonne année, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu, Felice Anno Nuovo, and Feliz Ano Novo. Almost forgot my other native language, Portuguese. So, this video is gonna be a random talk kind of video. I decided that I wanted to do this video because, I don't know, I really enjoy when other YouTube creators share their own sort of, not personal life, but when they talk about the channel and they kind of move away from the normal topic to get a bit more personal. I enjoy that kind of content. So if you enjoy this kind of video, then I hope you will enjoy this one. If you don't, then feel free to skip this one and join us back next week when I will do a language-related video. Sorry, I angled my camera wrong. But yeah, so in this video, I will talk mainly about my language learning goals and sort of journey in general, and also about my channel. So if you like to hear about the behind the scenes, then hopefully you will enjoy that. But the behind the scenes will be the second part. So you can stick around for the language learning journey. I'm gonna call it that. If you want to hear about it, and then, you know, you can stop there or carry on if you would like to hear more about the channel and all the things that I kind of went through and enjoyed on my channel. So yeah. So obviously this year was, last year was kind of a tricky one. I have to say I didn't have it so bad, not as bad as other people. I'm kind of grateful for it. I'm kind of the introverted person, although I feel like I kind of can be also extroverted. It's kind of a spectrum for me, but I'm the kind of person who is happy to just be home and do their own thing. And because I've got so many things to do anyway at home, like I never really get bored, so lucky me. But I hope that if you found last year difficult, I hope that's going to get better for you. It's difficult to sort of work with negative circumstances, but hopefully you'll be able to, you know, take the time to, you know, center, what's the phrase in English? Kind of focus on yourself, I guess. Maybe that can be also a time to challenge yourself, try something new. Recently, I was talking about this on Twitter, but I started teaching myself to dance. I'm a terrible dancer. I love dancing, but I'm a terrible dancer. I don't know if I will show any videos of that. Maybe, we'll see. But what I'm trying to say is that it can be a great time for you to start a new skill. So in that case, that could be learning a new language or just focusing on your language learning. I think it's important to focus on something so you don't get bored and don't fall into the trap of just watching TV shows all day long. Unless they're in your target language, then I guess that's fair enough. But I think you get what I'm trying to say. But, you know, try to use this year, because I know the beginning of 2021 is still going to be challenging because of coronavirus, but you know, let's not give up. We can do it. And yeah, and so let's carry on. Sorry, I'm not really used to improvising that much. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is Japanese. So I'm not going to go into great detail because I'm planning to do a video about Japanese in my Japanese progress update video series. That's why I really detail all the things that I do with Japanese. If you want to check out the series, I will probably create a playlist. I need to do that, but I will put links in the description box below. There's a lot now. I think the next video will be number 15 or 16 maybe, so that's a lot of videos, a lot of updates, which is very exciting. And just to give you a bit of a taste for what I'm going to talk about, I will talk about my italki lessons, because that was something new that I tried this year. And that was a lot of fun. I was kind of worried about using italki at first. Sorry, my chair comes down on its own. It's very annoying. But anyway, so I was quite stressed about taking italki lessons because, you know, I know how it works for online lessons. I mean, in-person lessons, but in online lessons, it's a bit different because, I don't know, it's just different. There's something a bit, you know, when something is new, your sort of reflex is to be a bit scared or maybe apprehensive a bit. And I was, but actually it turned out amazing. I mean, I talked about it in my Japanese progress update video series, but I also talked about, because I also took some conversation classes in Spanish, and I made a video about it where I show you some extracts. So if you're considering doing conversation classes and you're not sure what it looks like, hopefully this video will give you an idea of what it's like, because I knew I was kind of stressed and nervous about it, even though in real life I do conversation classes. So I work in schools and I do conversation practice in French. So I feel like I should have known, but everyone has their style, and the way I do my conversation classes for sure is going to be different from the way someone else does theirs. So Yeah, but the classes were great. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show extracts on my Japanese conversation classes because obviously I need to make sure I've got permission from the tutors. I would not share the extracts from the videos, from the lessons on YouTube without permission, because someone asked me about that. I was like, yeah, of course I've got permission. I wouldn't dare do that. That'd be really bad. And I'm pretty sure that's not legal anyway, but I do have their consent. So don't worry about it. Yeah, and just generally speaking, so my focus this year was on Japanese, and I'm very happy with my progress, even more so since I started italki. It's not to say that italki made me progress, but I think having those regular lessons was something to sort of keep me motivated, because I have homework, and I'm sure and I know that every week I'm forced to revise, do grammar, learn vocabulary, and that was kind of like a push, let's say, to motivate me to do Japanese. It also helped me to sort of create a timetable, a schedule for my language learning as well. I did do a video about it on my channel. Again, I will try to remember to link everything below. And yeah, I feel like that was really efficient. That was, for me, efficient. I'm not saying you necessarily need to take language lessons or conversation classes, but I do think they are quite helpful because that gives you a reference, like a person of reference. What's the phrase in English? Like someone to refer to ask questions, to just, you know, make sure that your mistakes get corrected. Because as much as I believe you can learn on your own, I think it's much easier with a teacher, or at least a person that can correct you. So that could be a friend or something like that, but I think it's quite important. And yeah, I feel like I progressed a lot in the last 2 or 3 months. I started doing the informal form in Japanese, which I didn't know very well before. I'm better with the te form, which if you're learning Japanese, you know, it's a bit of a challenge. It's not extremely difficult, but at first it takes a bit of practice, because it's not, I mean, obviously in Japanese everything is new. And actually that reminds me of someone who was like, oh, but isn't Japanese too difficult? Why did you choose it if it's so difficult? And I'm like, it is difficult, but I kind of like the fact that I don't have any point of reference in terms of language, because so far the languages that I've learned were Latin languages. So I'm a native speaker of French and Portuguese, in case you're new to the channel. So, you know, picking up Spanish, Italian was fairly easy. English, easy as well, because there are similarities between the two grammars, but obviously it's different, but I think you know what I mean. But with Japanese, everything is different. So I can't rely on anything I know to learn Japanese, and I kind of like that. It's scary in a way, but I don't know, it's nice. And you always have to think outside the box. I think what helped me with Japanese a lot is to have an open mind, because I feel like some people, or some of my students anyway, they always feel like when there's a new grammar point, they're like, oh, that's so weird, or that's so dumb, why do they do this like that? Or like, why do you conjugate verbs like this in French, for example? And I'm like, it doesn't make sense, like, you know, from a objective point of view, it doesn't make sense, like why anything is in any way, but you just have to accept that that's how a language is structured. I'm hoping I'm making sense, but I like this aspect that everything is new. It's kind of a nice challenge, and if you've been following this channel for a little while, you know I'm all for stepping out of your comfort zone, because that's something that I'm working a lot on, hence why I'm picking up dancing, for example, even though I'm terrible at it. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much on that, but I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so yeah, that's one of the reasons why I do Japanese, because it's so different, it's a nice challenge, and it's a great language. I generally do like it. It's not just because it's challenging that I'm doing it, but it's also because I like it for real. And then, so I also put a bullet point which is about how I feel about my Japanese right now. And as I was sort of saying already, I feel quite good about my Japanese. I think I'm moving gradually towards intermediate level, although I can't say I'm conversational. I am planning on doing a video only in Japanese, but that would be a short one. I haven't done one yet because I just feel like my level is too minimal for me to say anything meaningful or interesting. You know, I'm not going to do a video to say like neko ga suki desu or like things like that. That's kind of boring, right? So I'm going to wait to have a bit more grammar, a bit more knowledge to do something that has a bit more meaning, even if it's going to be basic. But I'm waiting for my level to improve a bit, but I feel quite good. I like the fact that I'm making a lot of progress. The fact that I progressed so much in the last 2 months is very like motivating. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing more about this on my Japanese progress update video series, maybe next week or in 2 weeks, we'll see. And I hope you will be there. So, still on Japanese actually, I am also planning on going to Japan again. Unfortunately, my April trip was cancelled. You know why. That's annoying, but you know, we were all on the same boat, same situation for many people. It is what it is, but I'm still planning on going to Japan again. I don't know when, obviously it depends on the situation, but I'm really looking forward to putting into practice everything that I've learned, and I feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like by now, even though my Japanese is far from being perfect, obviously, I'm still a beginner, I'm kind of looking forward to, you know, putting into practice what I've learned. It'd be nice to sort of, you know, see how it goes and how it compares, how it will compare to the first 2 times that I went to Japan, when I was kind of struggling, not really being able to say much, even though I could get by, but I think now I would be even more independent, which I'm hoping it's gonna be like, I'm gonna be more independent. Yeah, that would be the word, to be more independent. I don't know, independence is something that resonates well with me, so being more independent with the language is something that I really enjoy. So yeah. So now, moving on from Japanese, I also want to talk about Spanish, because a month ago, or maybe a couple of weeks ago, I made a video in Spanish about how I wanted to sort of go back to doing Spanish and how I was going to do it. And I have to say, I didn't manage to really get into it. I think I was too focused on Japanese. But what I want to be able to do is to be able to watch documentaries, more films, more series, etc. in Spanish, because I can, like, I have the level. I'm pretty much between intermediate and advanced in Spanish, but as I've said in the video, which I can link again, my issue with Spanish is that I do have advanced knowledge. I mean, at least my passive skills are very advanced, but my speaking, my output skills, let's say, are not as advanced. I'm quite rusty with some words and grammar, so that's something I wanted to practice. But as a lot of people have pointed out, I don't really need to practice the grammar. I think it's more about, you know, being exposed to the language more. And yeah, and also at the moment I play a lot of Fortnite. I know it's a bit cringe. I'm an adult, I know, but it's so addictive. And I occasionally play with Spanish people, and it's great practice because I can talk, you know, while playing, which is a lot of fun, and that's also nice practice. And my camera is about to die, so I'm going to change the batteries. It's been a long time since I've made a video. All right, I'm back. Imagine doing YouTube for 4 years and still not being able to deal with the batteries of your camera. Anyway, let's carry on. So as I was saying, you know, when I play online games, I also get opportunities to practice Spanish, which is great, and people are always kind of appreciative when they realize that you speak their language, and they tend to be quite keen on practicing. And one of the reasons why I don't have a pen pal, or what do you call pen pals when it's in person, like a conversation partner, I guess, is because, I don't know, it's a bit strange, but I feel like when you look for conversation partners, you don't really have anything in common to start with, except from the fact that you're learning languages. So I feel like if you talk to native speakers in things like video games, or I don't know, in the community, if you live in the country, or in environments where you have these native speakers, you have something in common, because there's a reason why you're in the same place at the same time, usually, if you're doing activities or hobbies or things like that. So you can talk about these hobbies, and that's kind of spontaneous and natural. You already have something in common. But if you have pen pals, like, it's a bit more awkward. I mean, I did find a good friend, a Japanese friend, through a Hello Talk, but it was kind of hard to find someone that you connected with. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. I'm not really keen on language exchanges. Not because I'm a snob or anything, but I don't know, I just find them a bit more awkward, and I like it when it's a bit more natural, spontaneous. You know, like you just meet people as if they were, you know, speaking your native language, but you happen to speak in your target language. I hope I'm making sense. I hope so. But yeah, so for Spanish, it sounds like a plan for me to do, you know, try to play with people that are Spanish or speak Spanish. And then I would definitely like to try to watch more content in Spanish, maybe read. Although reading for me has been a bit difficult because I used to be someone that liked to read a lot, but I kind of lost this habit because of, you know, online computers, etc. We don't read as much, but I definitely should watch documentaries or things like that in Spanish. And if you have any recommendations of things to watch, and I mean native speaker content, then I'm up for it. That'd be quite useful. Maybe there's something that I haven't discovered yet, and you can sort of give me suggestions. That would be amazing. And finally, I wanted to talk about Portuguese. And I know a lot of people are confused as to why I'm sort of working on my Portuguese, even though it's my native language. But I kind of explained it in a video in Portuguese that I did a couple of months ago, maybe. Again, I will try to put the links in the description box below. But even though I'm a native speaker, it's my weaker language out of my two native languages. So that means that I can obviously talk in Portuguese, and you know, I'm very comfortable. It's my native language, but there are lots of topics that I'm not comfortable talking about, and I'm trying to sort of find more practice, but I failed at it because it's not just Portuguese, it's European Portuguese that I want. Not that I hate Brazilian Portuguese, but it's just not the variety I speak. So again, if you have suggestions of content to watch in European Portuguese, I'm down. Like, please do send them my way. That'd be very useful because I'm not too sure. So far what I've tried was to listen to YouTube videos of radio stations, but the content is a bit like, it's not, sometimes even vulgar, so I'm not really about it, you know. Like, I don't know, but yeah, so if you have something more interesting to suggest to me, then I would be very appreciative. So now I wanted to talk about my channel in general. There's a couple of things I wanted to mention. Let me scroll down. So this year has actually been fairly crazy for my channel. You have to sort of put things into context. So I started my channel in February 2017. Yes, no, 16, my bad. So that's quite a, oh my God. No, 17. I'm so confused now. And it's going to be nearly 4 years. So that's it's starting to be a long time now. And my channel progressed very slowly. I think after 3 years, I had 1K subscribers, which I'm fine about. I mean, obviously, any creator likes to have more followers and subscribers, but it's not, as much as it's something that I like and it's great, any new person that follows my channel is always great. Like, I'm really excited because that means that someone liked my videos enough to the point that they subscribed or commented on one of my videos, so that's great. But the progress has been slow. But with the coronavirus, and I think that's been the case for all creators really, my channel grew so much. I think I gained almost 3,000 subscribers in a year, which is huge for me. And I think I wrote it down, like almost 2,000 views. That's huge for my channel. I'm just so grateful. Like it's just amazing. Honestly, I'm terrible at expressing my gratitude, but it's great. Like, I'm really glad that all of you have joined. And also people on Twitter are great to me as well. Like, I love the interaction that I have there as well. And if you don't follow me on Twitter already, please do. Again, links will be in the description box below. If you have Twitter, I don't know if people still do Twitter. Like, I feel like young people just go on Snapchat and Instagram, and I'm not an Instagram person. I do have an Instagram account for this channel, but I don't really comment on it. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Instagram. Like, selfies and stuff are not for me. It's not like a medium, whatever, with which I'm comfortable. So I just don't do Instagram for now. It might change. Yeah, I've been trying to go on Instagram, but I just can't find something that I feel I could add value on top of what I do already. I've been considering doing videos in multiple languages on Instagram, like, you know, doing random conversations. Is that something you would like me to do? I'm not sure. But if that's something you would enjoy, then I'll consider it. That could be good practice for me, especially in Spanish, Japanese and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know. Actually, it could be nice to have feedback, and maybe you'll motivate me to get into Instagram. Something else that I wanted to talk about as well is the 2 collabs that I did on my channel this year. I didn't do many because I try not to do too many because my goal is not to collab with everyone. I just want to do collabs that make sense and that I really have fun doing. And that was the case with these two ones. So the first one was with Tokini Andy. And I didn't talk about it anywhere, but we were supposed to meet in Japan and do a vlog or video together. But things got cancelled, which sucks. So instead, we just did an interview on YouTube. I hope that Andy will be keen on doing a collab if we manage to meet in Japan at some point. I shall keep you updated if we do end up collaborating later on, if the circumstances allow it. Another collab that I did was with Bong from the channel Big Bong, and this collab was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I really hope I'm going to be able to collab with Big Bong later on. I hope we will. Again, I will keep you updated if that does happen. Hold on, I need to raise my chair. Here we go. So annoying. And this collab was really fun, although it was really hard to edit. I spent 14 hours editing these two-part videos. I'm not really good at editing. That's not something that I enjoy doing. I do it, but it's very simple, very minimal. I really don't focus on the editing. I hope that one day I'll be able to delegate the editing to someone as soon as I have the money to do that. But it was great. I really enjoyed doing something new. And Guess the Accent Challenge is a challenge that I've created about 3 years ago. And I did the first one with Think Term Languages back in Paris. That was a long time ago. Then I did it on my own, then with my friend Jeremy. So at the time it was Follow Jeremy, but now he has many channels. I can't keep up anymore. I'm joking. If he watches this, I'm joking. Je rigole. And and I hope that I will be able to do it with someone else later on, but it requires a lot of work, so that's why I don't do it as often, but I know you guys really enjoy it. So it's definitely a challenge that I will do again, but I need a bit of time. I need to breathe in between these videos because they're all quite time consuming. And I also have so many other types of videos that I want to do. I'm not going to say too much here because I don't want to spoil the fun, but there's definitely a lot of video ideas that I still have. It's quite impressive because I remember at the beginning of my channel, I thought I had ideas for about 50 videos, maybe 100, and now I have over 130 videos, I think. Let me check. How many videos do I have on my channel? Oh my gosh, I've got 156 videos. That's crazy. Oh my God. So I still have so many ideas, and that's what I like about my channel. I don't know if that makes sense, but I like the idea that my channel is kind of, obviously comes from here, that's where it started, and it's quite fascinating to begin with, but I like the idea that I want to cover as many things as possible about language learning, and then at the end, if I ever stop my channel, I don't think I will, but it might happen, then it'll be interesting to see about all the things that I could come up with to talk about languages and how much variety there is. And on my channel, I really value doing things differently every now and then, like, for example, this type of video is different. It's not scripted like some of my other videos. I also have a Japanese progress update, which is less scripted, still a little bit, but it's something different. I like doing other types of videos all the time, and I hope you enjoy the variety. I like to do different things all the time because I don't want my content to be boring for you and for me, because obviously as much as I do the content for you people, you watching the videos, I also do it for me, and I don't want to get bored when I do videos. So I always try to be a bit creative in terms of what I do, and I feel like people are enjoying it. So I hope you will keep on enjoying it. I'm also thinking about bringing back linguistics onto my channel, because the original idea of this channel was to talk about language learning, obviously, but also about linguistics, and I haven't done that so much. A little bit, but not so much. One of the reasons is not that I don't like linguistics. I do, obviously. I have my master's in linguistics, but they just take a lot of time, a lot of research, and I don't have enough time. And I'm just prioritizing other things as well, so it makes it difficult for me to really do lots of research for a video. I don't have the time so much, but I'm definitely going to try to do one every now and then, because that'd be nice, and I've got a nice video idea for that in my mind, so hopefully you will stay tuned and you will be watching it when it comes out. And I also wanted to talk about the 3 videos that I particularly liked doing this year. And the first video was inspired to me by Elise Speaks, and she did a video about what I wish I knew before learning German. I believe that's the title, and I did an English version, but she did it more in a way, I mean, obviously it was funny, she made it quite funny, I liked watching her video, but she made it more like talking about the language, while me, I tried to make it more like funny, I guess. And for me, being funny on YouTube is something that's not natural. It's not, I don't think I'm funny on video. Like, I think I'm a funny person, but like, I think I can make people laugh, but I'm not really funny in terms of coming up with jokes and puns and things like that. I'm not that creative. If I can be funny spontaneously, but I can't script my funny, I guess, if that makes sense. But for this video, I kind of felt inspired, and I hope you found this video funny, although I know it's not hilarious. That was not the point. I mean, I know I'm not a hilarious person, but it was kind of a nice challenge because it was short. I scripted it quite a bit. I had to find some funny examples, and I think people enjoyed it and find it funny. So I feel like that was a win for me. I was glad. Another video that I liked was also the video in which I sang in 6 languages. And that was, for me, singing is kind of a weird thing. So I've always been singing, at least a little bit, since I was a kid. I grew up with my mum playing the guitar and singing and things like that. So I've always been into singing. But it's something that I felt shy about for a very long time. It's not until I arrived in England where I joined a choir and I started going to karaoke and stuff that I really sort of managed to overcome my shyness in terms of singing. I just felt very, what's the word? I didn't have confidence in my singing, and I felt really shy. And by putting myself in situations where I was sort of vulnerable, so like for example singing in a bar when I was 21, I believe, was the scariest thing I've ever done at that point anyway. So that's something I practiced a lot, you know, dealing with nerves and being nervous, and now I feel way more comfortable. Also, being a teacher, because you're in front of a group, also helps with shyness. So yeah, anyway, so I really enjoyed doing this video, and I wasn't sure people would enjoy it because again, insecurity, you know the drill, right? We all have them. And yeah, and I feel like the response was pretty good, and I'm definitely considering doing another one. But it takes a lot of time. I need to choose the songs, I need to sing them. It takes a lot of time to produce, to have something that sounds good, because I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist, although I'm not going to try to make it perfect for my sake, really. Otherwise the video will never come out, because, you know, singing and perfection don't go well together, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, so that was one of the videos that I really liked doing and that I will do again. And the last one was the linguistic discrimination video. So this one was a harder video to make because, I mean, obviously, if I'm honest, you know, the fact that I'm a white male makes it that, you know, I'm not the person that's the most likely to be a victim of linguistic discrimination. So I kind of felt like maybe I didn't have legitimacy to do it. But at the same time, my goal wasn't to be like, I'm the biggest, the most victim in the world in terms of linguistic discrimination, but rather my idea behind this video was to just raise awareness. I mean, obviously my channel is tiny and it's not like it's going to be watched by thousands of people, but the comments made me think that a lot of people weren't aware of it and they didn't really know what linguistic discrimination meant. And in my video, I don't talk about all the types of linguistic discrimination. I only talk about the type that I experienced myself, growing up bilingual in a country where my sort of minor language, Portuguese, was seen as something negative or something to make fun of. And that was something that was kind of challenging. I mean, obviously do watch the full video because it's a 20-minute video, so it'd be hard for me to sum it up. But that was kind of a nice video to make because it's something that, again, is different. I was a bit more vulnerable, and it's a topic that really is important to me. And it was really exciting that there's someone that commented and they asked, they just told me that they were going to use the video for one of their linguistic discrimination class. And I thought that was great. I was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, if I can help in any way to raise awareness, then, I'm really glad. And I'm hoping to have someone on the channel over at some point to talk about it, someone that's more specialized, someone that does research into language attitudes and things like that, because obviously it's not like the thing I specialized myself in when I did my master's. Me was more bilingualism. But yeah, it'd be nice to sort of raise awareness even more if I can. But again, that's one of my many video ideas that I have for this year, and I hope you will stick around for that. And finally, the last thing I wanted to talk about is the thumbnails. So if you've been following this channel for a while, I feel like I say that all the time, you've noticed that my thumbnails are different. They look much better. Again, I'm definitely not good at editing or doing any kind of creative stuff on the computer. But my friend Jeremy, who I mentioned earlier, is the one doing my thumbnails at the moment, so I hope you enjoy them. Don't hesitate to comment on the thumbnails when you watch my videos, because I'm sure Jeremy will enjoy that, and I can send the comments to him, so he knows that he's doing a great job. And he is doing a great job. I mean, his thumbnails are 10 times better than what I could possibly ever do, so kudos to him. And I think I'm going to finish the video on that note. I hope you didn't find the video too boring. Let me know. Did you find it boring, interesting? Should I do them a bit more often? Although I'm not going to do that all the time, because, you know, it's not like I've got so many interesting things to say all the time about my channel and language learning. I mean, in random talk format, I mean. But if you enjoy it, I might consider doing that a bit more often. Also, something that I'm considering doing a bit more is doing live streams. I think I'm going to have a bit more free time this year, because it seems like we're going to be online much more, and being online means that I've got a bit more time because I don't have to commute to work, and just that is a big difference. So I'm going to try to sort of think about how I can integrate live streaming into my weekly schedule. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know what else to say, but Happy New Year again. And I hope we will have a great year together, and I'm looking forward to it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.